today?
I'm fine. How are you?
You're not saying fine just to get rid of me on this question, right? I really want to know how you are. It's a beautiful smile.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm okay. I promise. How are things?
Well, actually good. Yeah, I can say all good. Thank you. We do have a lot of work currently, but I'm satisfied with how things are going right now.
Good.
So good.
Good.
Sarah, we have agreed on this meeting, as you know, for me to give you some feedback on the evaluation of your performance during the last year. And as you know, it is a very important moment, and I do hope that you are glad to have this opportunity with me today.
Yes, absolutely. Please go ahead.
Great. Okay, so I have some notes here. So in the last year, you have achieved important results. You have entered a new team with great energy, good listening, and this in fact helped you, to understand all the processes and all the responsibilities actually very well.
That's great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. So, as you know, in this occasion, we do have to discuss both your strengths and your improvement areas.
Okay.
And so, shall we start? And do you have any preferences, or what would you like to hear first?
Let's start with strengths.
Okay. So, your strengths, in fact, are punctuality and collaboration. So, you always manage to move one's work. You very quickly understood every role, every stakeholder. So, this helped you actually bond with your team and customers. This helped you create collaborative team spirit, and you gain a sense of trustworthiness with your whole network. Are you aware of that?
Yes, thank you. Yes, I worked hard to get to where I am today, and I feel this is really important to me.
Sure. I'm very glad to hear that, and please continue on with this attitude, because that's exactly what I expect from you. Okay, so now let's come to your areas of improvement. Can we do that?
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. It is actually, I don't know if you were aware that there are some improvement areas. Have you noticed something in your performance that you think you might improve?
Did I do something wrong?
No, you did nothing wrong. It's natural in a new role to have to work on some areas of improvement, so don't worry about this. I would even say it would be quite strange if it weren't so, and you wouldn't be then learning anything new at the end of the day, So what I would like to invite you to reflect on is the area that is about communication.
Okay. Do you feel I'm not communicating well enough?
I would not put it that way. Sure, you do communicate well enough. So let me be more specific. I am talking about your ability to influence the listener, the ability to intrigue him or her, and to keep on listening also sometimes. So, for example, it happened like in a call I want to talk to you shortly about. You're kind of talking for long periods. I even measured it once, and it was like 5 minutes without stopping, and then checking on the customer. So is he or she actually following on you? So in your commercial role, knowing how to keep the attention high and to be customer oriented in terms of listening in a dialogue is very important for us.
Okay. I feel like our customers have responded well to my presentations. Therefore, I feel I have achieved the goal. Don't you think?
Sure, of course, indeed, you have achieved the goals, and thank you for that. And that's exactly what I started this conversation with. So we need to talk about how to do it even better, because it wasn't always like this,
Okay.
And
Okay.
as I said, let me be specific. I think it's going to be easier for you. And I'll give you an example and tell you about the call we had with our internal customer just a few days ago. So the memory is clear for both of us. It's not that long ago, so I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
You mean with Giovanni? Okay. I'm a little nervous now.
Yeah, yes, don't worry, I mean Giovanni. But I want to talk about it because I believe it's important really for your development in terms of communication skills. And I just want to highlight it again. This is so crucial in your current role, and I do want to focus on this. So during the call, you presented the product very much into detail. You used clear and simple language, like in the sentences of the slides 8 and 9, for example. And I really could see that you were prepared because you were not reading, you were speaking spontaneously, and this was clear for your audience. This is in fact always essential in these kinds of meetings. So it gives this sense of trustworthiness I talked to you about before. In some moments, however, Giovanni seemed distracted and uninvolved. Did you notice this?
I'm sorry you feel that way. I didn't realize that you were unhappy with my presentation.
Okay, unhappy is a big word, so I would like to reassure you the goal has been achieved. In fact, we have set up another call with Giovanni, so all good.
Okay.
I'm focusing on this call in particular, so you can make an even better presentation next time.
Okay. Okay.
So I do understand your disappointment because now maybe you think, okay, you did something wrong, and I know you've been working hard on this, but please just can you take this feedback not as a critic, which is not, but as an opportunity really to grow. So I'm here to support you to go well. Okay?
Okay.
So, what did you notice about Giovanni's behavior?
I did notice that Giovanni was a little distracted in the middle of my presentation, but I was busy focusing on my speech, so I wasn't paying too much attention.
Exactly. Great that you've noticed this. I really appreciated that you were aware of this. Because me myself as well, I noticed towards the end of the call that his comments were kind of vague and confusing. Remember when he said, not sure, or when he said pralines instead of biscuits, and we were actually talking biscuits. So his questions, furthermore, were referred to the central part of the presentation, and that's exactly where he lost tension. So I believe that on that stage exactly he got distracted, and his behavior throughout the call and at the end of the call confirms this.
I think a lot of customers get distracted during video calls.
I get that point. Yes, I understand it. It is true, in fact. And that's exactly, although we know that clearly the customer's attitude does not depend solely on our way of presenting and our abilities to do so, the result is still an opportunity to ask yourself, what could you improve? Because, yes, they can get distracted anyway, but what can we do to prevent it?
Absolutely.
So, what do you think? Yeah. So do you have any ideas maybe on what could you do to prevent it, or should I give you some suggestions on this? What do you think?
Well, first, do you have any suggestions for me?
Yes, I do. In my experience, what you could do, first of all, is you could synthesize the presentation as much as possible.
Okay.
I noticed that the slides were kind of full of text, and this makes the listener focus on reading on the slides and not listening to you. And it makes everything less engaging, so it's like they're reading the presentation. Then, what you could do is you could analyze in depth the presentation and the needs of the listener and link them. So you could ask questions at the beginning of the presentation, and you might ask as well, what are your expectations from me for today? Or do you have any idea about the result you want to achieve from the meeting today? So then you know how to address it in a way.
Okay. Yes, I do notice I struggle to figure out or select the content that I would like to share with our customers.
Yeah, sometimes it might seem difficult indeed what to highlight. That's why we need to listen. So what you can do when you don't know what to share or what to select, you interrupt the presentation, you see he's distracted, So you interrupted them, you stop sharing, and you actually go with the question. Then you're gonna have his attention back, and you're gonna be able to understand what the customer thinks at that point and choose what to share accordingly, and you have him back again. So some slides that you have prepared maybe do not even need to be shown. So another aspect concerns the pauses. Remember when I told you that you talk for 4 or 5 minutes? Sometimes it's not only long, it's also quite quickly, so you leave little room for interventions. So when you were showing the slides 12 to 15, you were kind of being very, very quick. So using pauses allows you to take a breath, you observe the reaction of the listener, like I'm doing right now with you, and you stimulate engagement if necessary. You see, automatically smile. So you could literally choose when you are preparing the presentation, when exactly am I going to insert a pause. So for example, I could say, this sentence is very important for me. On the 12th slide, here I'm going to pause. And then you'll have your storyboard with the pauses.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your feedback. I will definitely take those into consideration.
Okay, so both poses and questions, in fact, help you to select the content that is more appropriate to highlight. So you can also neglect some non-salient aspects and non-important ones. And this selection saves both your time at the end of the day and customer time. So since what we are trying to really focus on here is that the listener's engagement plays for us a crucial role. So if we lose their attention at a certain point, not only we are presenting ineffectively, but it is also going to be more difficult in the future to involve the same people in new presentations because they think that, well, this is maybe going to be boring again, and we want to prevent that.
Yes.
Okay. Was it clear enough for you on this? Yeah. All good?
Yes, absolutely. I appreciate it. Maybe next time I should share more examples with the customers. And yes, I will definitely take everything that you took into all your suggestions into consideration, and I'll definitely work on that.
Super, perfect. Thank you for that.
Thank
so
you, Mediana.
Keep in mind, please, that the goal is to create a relationship of trust, as you did already show in the last year. So we want to do this with internal customers as well as with external ones. We want to engage them. So I know it's a little bit ambitious maybe, but there are several skills here that you could develop.
Okay.
Anyway, I want to go with you step by step. Okay, so for your next video call with an internal customer, just try to remember to be more concise, as we said, to synthesize it. Do less text and more questions. Okay. So when you prepare your questions. You cut the text. You leave just the necessary info. And then we will update after the call on how it went. Okay? And we'll see how it goes.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mediana.
Thank you, Sarah, for listening. I would say that as a first step before the next call, you could even send documents to me if you want. So you could send the slides to me. And I can give it a quick check. So if you would like to have quick feedback from me, you can. But if you don't and you want to go on your own, good for me. Just don't hesitate to contact me for anything you might need in this. Okay?
Absolutely, that's great. I will complete this as soon as I can, and I will get it over to you shortly.
Super. That's great. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you. You have
I
a
wish you
great
a beautiful day.
Thank you, you as well.
Call me if you need any help.
Absolutely. Okay. Bye.
Ciao.